Hey guys, this is Rich. I'd like to start out this video just saying that if you are watching this and you are feeling unsafe, that you feel like you might hurt yourself or worse, please stop watching this video and please call the suicide hotline. Their number is 1-800-273-8255. Has anyone ever felt lost before? Like maybe you're just at a point in your life where you don't recognize yourself anymore. Maybe you're stuck in a situation that you've been in for so long. You're unhappy, but you just don't know what to do. Maybe you're stuck in a dead-end job and there's just nowhere to go from there. Again, bad living situation. And you just can't see, any hope, anything changing. Maybe you just feel like a drone stuck, doing the same things over and over again. I know for me, when I start thinking about things like this, it makes me tend to kind of withdraw, because when you think about it, you start to think about, well, what could I do to, improve my situation? What can I do to make myself feel better again? But it can be scary to think about because to do these things requires change. And change is scary because not only do you have to um, decide what you want to do, and you actually have to act upon it. So just the act of doing it is scary enough alone. But then to think about, what comes next, where do I go from here? Um, Maybe you're even asking yourself, who am I? Um, who am I without this situation? Like, who am I without this dead end job? Who am I, in a better living situation, living on my own? Something like that. And, that can be scary. It can be really scary. Um, I know for a long time I've thought about things that I wanted to change in my life. But as I've said, change is just scary. And I can think of all these different things that, oh, I can do this to improve my situation, or I can do this and things will change. But then who am I at that point? Where do I go from there? Okay, maybe I'm unhappy with my job and I've decided, okay, well, I'm going to leave this job. When you think about things like that and you know that it's not that easy, and then it's easy to just kind of fall back exactly where you were. And for me personally, a lot of it has to do with work. I know for me, I've only had a couple of jobs in my entire adult life because I've held them for so long. But it just kind of makes you feel like every day is the same and nothing ever feels like it's going to be different. And then you start to think about, like I said, what can I do to make this situation better? And I know a lot of times for me, when I thought about, well, I could just find another job, and then I look for a bit, but it's just difficult. So I give up and I just, kind of go back to what I was doing. And I think it's a really hard thing to do, and it's a hard thing for anyone to do, not just people that have, suffer from any kind of debilitating mental illness. It's scary for anyone to think about change. And I know for me, with my diagnosis and what I have, it's easy for me to withdraw, and it's easy for me to kind of withdraw, as I said, and kind of just not see that there's, any kind of hope, and that there's nothing will ever be able to change for me. Things will always be the same. Because for us, at least for me, what I withdraw to when I'm feeling scared or insecure or unsure, I fall back into doing the same things I've been doing. And that's why I stay, in situations that I'm in, like with my job, because I'm used to it. And I know what to expect when I'm still in that situation, when I'm still in that job. And that provides me with a comfort in knowing that I have a stable situation. But at the same time, that stable situation isn't something that's making me happy. So that brings me to a crossroads. And then when you get to that crossroads is when the fear sets in, because if you're looking down one end and it's staying in the same situation, and on the other end is making a step to improve it, it's really difficult sometimes when you look down that road, that unsure road, because it's new, it's something that you haven't done before. It could seem really daunting because you always have that fear of, well, what if this doesn't work out for me? What if I fail? What if what I end up going to isn't better than the situation that I was in before? And because of that, maybe I just feel like it's better to kind of stay where I'm at, stay doing what I'm doing, and maybe something will change someday. But I gotta say that that tends to not be the case. Like, I think a lot of the times things aren't going to just change on their own. You know, that the only way we can make change in our life is if we have the strength and the courage to initiate that change ourselves, to actually apply to a job, and follow through with it, and follow up and have an interview, and go from there, instead of just, oh, I'm just going to browse on Indeed or something like that, and nothing serious, and then nothing changes. I have to actually make that first step. I have to make that act. And it's just the same in any situation. Say you're living, I don't know, say you're living at home, still, say you're living with your parents, and you just feel hopeless, like, I'm never going to be able to get out of here. But it's like, with that mentality, then you're never going to be able to get out of there. You need to go through the steps of, okay, so what can I do to get out of here and have my own stable position, have my own stable situation, and you go from there. Because if we stay in the same situation forever, ones that make us unhappy, we're just going to feel stagnant in life. We're going to feel like we don't go anywhere. We're never going to go anywhere. Things just have to stay the same, because that's just how it is. That's just life. But the thing with life is, it's supposed to be a growing experience. I believe that from the day we are born till the day that we die, you're growing every day. Maybe you don't realize it, but you are, because every day brings experience, and every experience shapes our minds, and it helps us to grow as a person. So even when you don't realize it, you are still learning and you are still growing. But to be able to continue to grow, and to be able to grow on your own, then you cannot allow yourself to, remain trapped in a situation that makes you unhappy. Like I said, I know it's scary when you get to that crossroads where you're looking both ways, and maybe one way you feel is either a bad way, and the other way would be a good way, and you're afraid of going down the bad way. But I believe that in a situation like that, there is no good way or bad way. Either way is going to bring you to a different outcome, but it doesn't mean that outcome is going to be bad. And maybe if it's something that you didn't expect it was going to be, well, then at least you tried. And that doesn't mean to say that you can't try something else, go down a different road, try something else, try something different. But there needs to be, you need to try. And I know it's hard. And when I say these words, I feel like a hypocrite at the same time because I'm speaking from experience. I do feel trapped in a lot of aspects of my life, and I have for a very long time. And I've thought so many times about what I can do to change it. And I know some of the things that I could do to change it. And here I am. I've been doing the same thing pretty much for years now, same job, same living situation. And I have started to feel like a drone where I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I go to sleep, I rinse and repeat. But that isn't something that I want to go for the rest of my life. Like, I don't want this to be my everyday forever. And I think that you need to ask yourself when you are in looking at your own situation, am I happy in this situation? Like, if this were to be my life forever, for day to day, as far ahead as I can look. If thinking about that, you're unsure about whether or not that's going to make you happy, or that that's not what you want to have, then it's you're at that crossroads where you have to make the decision of whether you want to continue in this situation and hope that maybe it improves, or you make a change. And as I've said, I know the change is scary, and I'm dealing with this myself. Um, but one thing that I've started to think about is that, like I said, I don't want this to be every day forever. And I want there to be change. I want to continue to grow as a person, because when you become lost and don't recognize who you are, then you're not going to be able to even look ahead on really how you can change your situation. You need to be able to know who you are as a person and what you want in life. And I know it's kind of an existential question. Life can be whatever anyone makes of it. Um, but I think in the end, it's something that we all need to sit down and think about with ourselves, because we all only have one life, and it is what we make of it. And you don't want to waste your days feeling stagnant and unhappy. You owe it to yourself to at least try. Um, find a different job, even though it's scary. Move somewhere else, even though it's scary to leave the place that you've grown up and you're comfortable for so long. Some people, I know many people I went to school with that have moved away and are very happy in their living situations and are very happy that they left this state, in order to be out somewhere different. And a lot of the times, I think that is what helps us grow as individuals, where we need to be in different situations, like different living situations. And that's not to say that you need to move, into a new home or something every time you feel, stuck in a certain situation. But I think it's just something to think about, where more along the terms of when you are in the same location for so long and you're just seeing the same things, you're hearing the same things, you're smelling the same things. Um, Sometimes that's just what people need. But everyone is different. We all have our own issues, and I know that a lot of us, if not most of us, do have things in life that we would like different. Even if we are comfortable in our living situations, maybe there's just certain things that you're unhappy about. Like me, I've been using the example of my job, and wanting to have something better. for myself. And for many years, I've just felt like this is what I've needed to do. And maybe you feel the same. You're in your situation. Maybe you just feel like this is something that you have to do, but it's not. At the end of the day, no one is going to be able to really make you happy but you. And that's not to say that having people in your life won't make you happy, because it's great to have a significant other, and it's great to have friends, and it's great to have family. And having those things in your life surely will contribute to, positive feelings and experiences for you. But all of that isn't going to be what really makes you truly happy. I mean, I have all of those things. I do have friends and I do have family. I have people that care about me, but I still suffer with my depression and fight that battle with my demons every single day, because I still have things I need to do as a person to grow and be happy. And I know that when I am happy with myself, that those other things in my life will just kind of enhance those feelings that I have for myself. So I think what I want to do now is just leave you all with the idea of maybe just sitting back and thinking about how things have been for you lately, and if there's anything in your life, it can even be something small. It doesn't have to be life shattering, but something small that provides some change and some freshness and some difference. And sometimes that's just what we need to maybe snap out of a funk, or to put ourselves in a different mindset of, okay, so things can change. And when I pursued this change and it happened, I actually feel really good about that. Maybe there's some more things that I can do that'll help as well. But it's also just very important to kind of think about these things. So, you owe it to yourself to look at yourself as an individual and decide if there's anything about yourself or the situation that you're in that maybe something could change that would benefit or enhance or make better that situation. But you're never going to know unless you think about it, and you're never going to know until you try. And trying, I think, is the hardest part. Like, taking that first step to make that change is the scary thing. And then looking ahead beyond that um, is scary too, because you don't know how things are going to go. But this is life, and if we don't try to do these things, then I feel like we'll just, live a life, half happy, or just not really knowing what different experiences we can have, if we don't try to make these changes. So I know I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and it's been giving me some insight into myself and maybe things that I can do to improve myself as a person and continue to grow. And I hope that all of you can look inside of yourselves and maybe find something that will make you feel better as a person, or that will help enhance your life in a positive way. So thank you for listening to my video, and I hope you all stay safe and stay healthy and stay happy. Thank you.